Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this evening's Men's Premier League contest here. Round 17 from Darwin Football Stadium. And the home side in Darwin Olympic Sporting Club will be taking on CASUARINA FC in a huge contest, and that has ramifications for the Premier League table. Of course, with an earlier result in Missouri being defeated 3-1 by the Darwin Hearts means that Darwin Olympic, with the victory here, can open up a 4-point gap in terms of finals football safety. CASUARINA as well, a victory for them would see them eclipse second place Mindel Aces, be 2 points up into second. Of course, still 8 points behind the league leaders in Hellenic after they escaped with a convincing victory, 4-1 against Port Darwin last night. So Darwin Olympic on your screens there have been in some form, and if their last encounter with your side on the screen there, CASUARINA, is anything to go by, it was an Olympic victory, 2-1 last time these two teams met. So it will be an important occasion for both teams. Certainly going into this match, we'll see which of the two have the medal. So it looks to be CASUARINA getting us kicked off and underway. We'll be going left to right on your screens. See if that able to bounce back the Rowdies. They're ready to go, and off we go. Kick-off underway this Saturday evening. An 8 o'clock fixture. A couple minutes late, but you're just in time if you're joining us. It's going to be a fantastic contest between these two sides. Historic rivals. They've battled over silverware in years gone by, and there'll always be a feisty encounter when CASUARINA plays against Olympic. Neil goes wide. Andrade. Braden McLennan centrally finds Charles Adu Jr. McLennan searching long for Mark Casemiro. Certainly a lot of pace to get onto the end of it. Puts in a formidable cross. Ethan Camero back into the lineup as well after missing recent couple weeks with injury. Ponlu Yin looking to come away from Vong here. Sending a ball forward, curling attempt. Amity's in the box. McLennan gets contact to it. Lewis DaCosta looking to come back into the box. Edge of the area here, Isaac Voicey in front of Charles Adu Jr. Will Reeve over the top for Lewis DaCosta. He has time to gather. Playing a low-driven ball, and Bo Thomas comes in with the clearance. Clears it to the McMillan's road end. Hopefully that didn't strike a car on its way through. It looked like it was heading straight for the road there behind you on your screens. Hope to gather that ball soon. In the meantime, a corner kick to Olympic, and Rafael Yayakos to deliver this one. Into the box it searches, and he finds ahead of CASUARINA. Bounces in front of Charles Adu Jr., but Will Reeve got the touch there first. Mark Casemiro with pace. Charles Adu Jr. gives it away. Rafael Yayakos. Now here for Olympic in this wide position is Dennis Konomos, but comes away with the Rowdies. Charles Adu Jr. That's Connor Gallagher in the ball for CASUARINA, playing in a slightly more elevated position. Has been one of the best young players in the entire Men's Premier League season 2023. Now Adam Davies comes out wide here to Konomos. Yayakos tries the flick on for Lewis DaCosta. Andrade gets to it. Now Braden McLennan. Dion Newell's able to come and lay waste to that ball. Clears it. Calls from the Olympic coach Lewis Bunton, urging his team to keep possession alive, keep things going. Comes out wide for DaCosta. Now Reeve. Time to dwell on the ball. He'll come back across to his centre half in Tane Stevenson. Bouncing it wide. Comes away from Olympic there via Yao Correa. Iakos in the midfield. Now Voicey looking to get it to Amity. Bo Thomas gets intervened. Now Stevenson with the header. Forward here for Will Reeve. He'll take possession down and come wide. Connor Moss will take the touch. Now DaCosta, almost picking off the perfect play there, and instead Charles Adu Jr. can't quite keep that in, so Olympic will have the throw just behind their halfway line. And Connor Moss with ball in hand, looks to go down the line. DaCosta providing chase. McLennan gets across to it, and McLennan puts it out into touch. So Olympic with another throw. They'll try and build an attack from this position. Voicey and Yayakos getting into the box. Amity, of course, and Yin already there. Certainly a high-paced game played so far. We've just skipped past 4 minutes. Northcrest scoreboard still reads no goals for either side. But throw in here in a forward position for Olympic. Voicey traps the ball down. Pressure put onto him by Vong. Mark Casemiro comes away and pace to go forward too. Not going to get past Stevenson. Manages to get the ball away, but the referee pulls the ball back. Says there was a free kick in the center of the park. McLennan with the ball. Options further forward. He'll look to perhaps go long. Does so. Reliable header there by Davies. Will Reeve further out. Thomas comes across to the header. Ponlu Yin. Thought about going first time. Still with Ponlu Yin. Back to Isaac Voicey. Wide as peeled Rafael Yayakos. He'll look for the cross first time, but Dion Newell will be able to gather that one relatively easily. Perhaps force a switch of play. McLennan with possession. Looks down the line for an option to present itself. Instead decides to go long for Jaluris. It's cut out by Kwana. Now Voicey. Good pressure put onto him by Edu Jr. and Vong to Thomas. And Thomas now looks to go wide, but no evident teammate there to receive. So Geekus will just take possession. Gives it close by to Kwana. Now Reeve. Back to his captain. And Samuel Kwana. And Geekus. Look to come across goal. Jaluris almost picking that off. Stevenson back to his goalkeeper. Olympic dangerously holding onto the ball in their defensive half as Kwana goes wide. DaCosta back to Kwana. Options need to present. Instead they go back to the goalkeeper, Geekus. Now to Kwana. Looks further afield. Perhaps playing a ball forward to Amity. Gets the header to it. Erratic header out to Reeve. Looking to get it to Voicey. Will bounce in an open area here. Gallagher to Correa. Charles Adu Jr. touches away from Reeve and Yin, and now McLennan with time to touch it in front and lay a pass wide. Charles Adu Jr. short. Reeve tries to get there in front, but McLennan does well on the second attempt. Now Adu Jr. Jaluris just pops that straight out into touch. Throw in for Olympic. Connor Moss with the throw. Down the line he goes. Looks for an option. Instead they'll provide chase as Andrade clears forward. Reeve gets there first time, but Charles Adu Jr. bounces away from a second as well. Across to Vong. Pressure applied onto him. Gallagher back and across for Yao Correa. Now Camero playing on a wide position. Favoured into the lineup, back in there. Of course, when there is a fit Ethan Camero, he almost has to play. Here he is on the ball once again, coming into a more familiar midfield, dropping in deeper to perhaps instigate the attack. You do have midfield reinforcements as well on the bench. Of course, Jacob Lay, who scored their only goal in their last match out against the Darwin Hearts. He lays in wait for a call-up when needed. Connor Moss gets a good header back to the goalkeeper. Of course, without their normal captain in Corden Pereira, serving a suspension for an accumulation of yellow cards, I'm being told. And as well, another midfield maestro in Tim Robertson out of the side, and a defensive switch as well with a late change to Yari McRae van Lingen, reportedly feeling very unwell. Wish him a swift recovery and him back onto the pitch. The heart of defence is where he belongs for this Rowdies outfit. So a bit of rejigging is safe to say for Casuarina coach Zelio Casemiro. I'm sure the players selected are more than adequate for the job at hand. Short goal kick taken. Samuel Kwana, Olympic will look to drive forward out of defence. Composed and cautious build-up. Pass across goal for Stevenson. Looking forward, but block off Camero and out of play for a throw. Davies, long throw inside, finds Yakos. Now Kwana drives wide, looking to get to DaCosta. Andre's picked it off. Now Mark Casemiro looks to drive away. Still with Mark Casemiro, chance here. Kwana does well. Now Connor Moss. Ball goes wide to Yakos. Drives down this near side. Pass is given away. Now Casemiro. Charles Adu Jr. Outside of the football, looking for Camero. Voicey gets to it. Finds Ponlu Yin. Back to Isaac Voicey. Another young player who's burst onto the scene for Olympic. Celebrated his birthday earlier this year. Still a teenager as well. Isaac Voicey, one of those younger players coming through the ranks at Darwin Olympic. Plenty of men's Premier League football for the playmaker in midfield. There's McLennan trying to come out of defence here. Good hold-up play by Amity, using his experience. Plenty of it. Voicey wide to Ponlu Yin. Chance for him to drive into the box. Goes inside, puts the ball into Amity. Shot blocked. There's now Davies. Goes back out wide, looking for Yin. Keeps it alive. Driving away from Yao Correa. Still with Yin. Puts him to ground, Yin. Reeve with a strike and forces a miraculous save from Dion Newell. Great bit of skill there from Ponlu Yin. Wasn't quite able to get an assist off for a goal, but certainly a beautiful build-up play. Just not able to be finished off there. Nice, nice attempt. Corner kick nonetheless for DaCosta. Driven inside, back post here. Headed out by Gallagher. Yakos allows it to bounce. And Dion Newell is able to make the gather. They'll look to boot it forward. Fight the pace of Casemiro. Connor Moss manages to do just enough to get it away. Get back to his feet and drive forward now with possession. Nice left-footed attempt. Look to play it inside. Thomas with the header. Charles Adu Jr. in front for Camero. Stevenson now with possession for Olympic. They've certainly made Apologies, a good start so far to this match. Both teams feeling themselves out in these early stages as Kwana looking to drive a good ball across. Ponlu Yin now, chance for crossed opportunity, and a header there by DaCosta, not too far away. An opportunity goes backing once again. A little unhappy with the defending, perhaps the CASUARINA goalkeeper. Just putting in some instructions to his defenders. Perhaps one of the areas that they are a little light in this evening. Of course, I'm sure they'd have many of options to be able to play with, but we'll see how that works. Correa to Thomas. And a free kick picked off there by the referee. Forward it goes. Kwana with the header. Now Yayakos drives forward, looking to play it across to Amity, but with the weak foot he couldn't quite generate enough power. Camiro, heavy touch, takes it wide, stays alive. Joao Correa under a little bit of pressure here by Yin. Managed to find Camiro, but now Yayakos gets to the fall of the ball. Pops it out in front for Ponlu Yin. Now Voici. Yayakos. Reeve, flick on for Amity, and then further through for Reeve, and free kick is picked off there for Olympic. And so, see if they can muster an opportunity here. So, set piece opportunity. For Ponlu Yin, who's absolutely favoured this one. Comes Yin with a strike, low driven, and Newell makes the relatively easy gather. The Olympic players were on hand for a bobble or parry save that came back out, but keeper of Newell's experience had that one covered all night long. Out with a throw-in down the line for Camiro. Picked off by Davies and Voici. Davies off of Yin, I think, as Correa inside for Charles Adu Jr. and a throw-in for Olympic. Amity. Yayakos, back to Amity. In a poke it and forward for DaCosta. Yin will race across and just allow it to go out of play for a throw. Just taken quickly. Voici pokes inside the box. Thomas misses the initial clearance. Instead, required Vong to do some work. Gallagher forward to Jaluris. Stevenson competing with Jaluris. Very strong battle between those two will be. Jaluris looking to thread it through for Casemiro. DaCosta, Yayakos. The midfielder comes away with possession. His clearance is blocked. Now Camero. Chance for the Rowdies. Camero from distance and forced Geekus to make a relatively comfortable save, but came across to get a lot of contact behind it. Moves it forward, Geekus. Flicked on by DaCosta. Now McLennan. Immediately back to his goalkeeper. Thomas. Moves it forward. Now Camero. Vong. Correa loses possession. Amity takes a touch through on goal. Mitchell Amity slots it home. And that's the opener for Darwin Olympic. Just the start they wanted. And it's the perfect way to begin the match for the Reds looking to make a statement this evening. Mitchell Amity once again fires home. Ever so reliable in front of goal. And that provides the opener for the Reds. Kicked off and underway, CASUARINA go. Looking to repel back and take Olympic back. 19 minutes gone on North Crest scoreboard. Charles Adu Jr. loses possession. Olympic throw. Economos throws it long down the line. Amity tried to let it roll through, but Thomas now has it for CASUARINA. Kicked straight into DaCosta. Clearance goes wide. Camero first time forward. Manoli Jalouris rolls it away from Stevenson. It's good footwork here by Jalouris, but pops it out into an open area. Plenty of time for Davies to keep it alive. Stevenson. Davies. Now Geekus. Comes wide here for Economos. DaCosta turns well, past Andre. Inside now for Yayakos. Past Gallagher. Amity. Inside for Voicey. First time ball over the top. Searching for Yayakos, and Thomas is able to allow his goalkeeper to make the claim. Newell across for Thomas. Now back to Newell. Newell hoists it wide. Good touch by Correa. Davies touches in. Voicey as well rides the challenge. Willavong will try and skip away from Correa. Makes in a good challenge there. Now back to his goalkeeper. Newell goes wide for Camero. Davies first time. Now Voicey centrally for Reeve. So keeps it fortuitously. Reeve off of Charles Adu Jr. Now Stevenson. Voicey. Reeve needs to be careful here. Jalouris has picked his pocket. Holds it up to try and allow Mark Casemiro to make a run. Still with Jalouris. That core strength and general strength to keep the possession, and eventually gets across into the box, and Geekus is able to collect a deflected attempt at getting it to a teammate. So 21 minutes, almost 22 gone, still just 1-0 on the North Crest scoreboard. DaCosta, wonderful control to take it down, and referee says play on. Brought to ground, but not enough to appease the referee in calling a foul as Olympic come away now with their own break. Mitchell Amity can hold on to it here. Drive forward, cuts or fakes it well. Amity crosses, headed up by Andre. DaCosta with a strike, and that one deflected off and behind for a corner. So certainly chances are coming for Olympic. They just need to put a few more of those away and create that degree of separation. There's 4 here. DaCosta blocked off by Thomas, and perhaps if that went through to the keeper unblocked, it might have been a more of a difficult task for the CASUARINA goalkeeper to deal with. But just the corner, Yayakos to take it. In comes with the delivery. Amity gets a header, and that's a wonderful, wonderful header. Mitchell Amity has a second goal, and Olympic now creating some breathing room. Yayakos plays in a wonderful corner. Amity gets the first near post header, and that's got to be a wonderful routine set piece for Olympic. 2 goals in front, 23.5 minutes gone on the North Crest scoreboard. Positive start for Olympic. CASUARINA perhaps just about to come out of the sheds with a response of their own. Edu Jr. Back to Vong. Now Gallagher. McLennan wide, and that one's given away. Possession for Olympic via this throw. Economos to Voicey. Economos once again, advancing down the line and just getting involved with one another. Throw into CASUARINA. Thrown back for Diarnul. Now across for João Correa. Bo Thomas. Centre half. Jostling forward. Eventually releasing long. Davies picks it off. Just put out into touch. Yayakos. Stevenson. Lays it back to his goalkeeper, Geekus. Now Kwana. Economos. Back to his captain. Kwana. Voicey. Does well to get past one. Now Yayakos. Pressure and corralled. Economos. Forward to Voicey. Turns away from Vong and got the touch off of Vong, so be an Olympic throw. Economos inside for Yayakos. Nice header forward. Andrade has it. Back to McLennan. Laces forward the clearance and commanding header from the Olympic captain. CASUARINA throw. Charles Edu Jr. Back to Gallagher. Gets his pass off. Bo Thomas. Now Gallagher. De Costa will come and collect. Still with Luis De Costa. Now Mitchell Amity. Cross here for Yayakos. Looks and assesses an option. Here is Davies. Now Ponlu Yin. Yayakos. Kwana. Driving forward with possession. Goes the other way though. Andre drives. Economos out of possession and position, but it was a good defensive piece of work. Mark Casemiro. Economos gets in a good challenge. Tries to drive a pass forward. Vong. Amity back to Vong. CASUARINA look to go wide. Camero. Now Thomas. All the way back to Diarnul. McLennan to Thomas. Now João Correa. Thomas. Diarnul. Gallagher. Back to his goalkeeper. And it's to say that Olympic have created the majority of chances in this match. Certainly have worked for their opening couple goals. Could have had some more, if not for a deflection and some brilliant Diarnul heroics in goals to deny Reeve early. CASUARINA, I'm sure, had plenty of time, certainly on the scoreboard, and plenty of say still in this game as Thomas goes with a massive clearance, and Olympic have a throw in their defensive half. Davies. Cross and back for Stevenson. Possession with Stevenson, now finds DaCosta. Konomos has made the oncoming run. Still with DaCosta, centrally for Yayakos. Trying to poke it through a number of rowdies as Konomos tries the left-footed cross, and unfortunately didn't quite wrap the boot around it enough. It goes out and behind for just a goal kick. CASUARINA get things going again. Thomas goes forward. So it just goes out of play for an Olympic throw. Davies throws forward. Yin tries to flick it further on, but CASUARINA come the other way. Joao Correa has his pocket picked. Yin tries to advance forward. Thomas does well and concedes possession. Olympic throw. Going inside for Voici. Cross to Yayakos. And there is a free kick there against CASUARINA. Olympic free kick, Stevenson to Kwana. Whips it across here for Konomos. First time delivery back to Yayakos. Pressure applied onto him. So free kick against the CASUARINA attacker. Half an hour played. And it's Mitchell Amity who his 2 goals have Olympic in front. Andrade retreats and Casemiro puts it out to touch. Konomos throws inside for Reeve. Takes it down and looks to switch things. This could be ominous. Davies gets there first. Correa, Camero, Yin. It's Ethan Camero who's come away with possession. Back to Joao Correa. Centrally looking for Gallagher. Yayakos is there. Over the top ball. Gallagher, Yayakos now. Chance for Yayakos. Defensive errors there. Konomos heads forward. Yayakos. Gallagher get the header. Charles Adu Jr. Voici does well to win possession. Now Konomos drives forward. Left-footed delivery. Spins back. Amity takes it. He'll try and hold play up. Still with Amity. A number of rowdies it took to dispossess the Olympic forward. Stevenson. Still with Taint Stevenson. Driving forward. Thomas needed to get his lines cleared, and he did. Davies, strong header. Reeve as well further on. Now Ponlu Yin. Davies. Now Kwana. Konomos. Voici. Now Stevenson. Wonderful win possession at the moment, Olympic. Confident, passing the ball around and certainly hitting their targets at the moment. Amity. Wider for Konomos. Perhaps a left-footed delivery. First time, Yayakos. So the flick on. Voici with a strike. And a little overzealous there. The youngster. Not a bad attempt to try it first time. Thomas. Charles Adu Jr., heavy touch, keeps possession. Now Vong. Finds Braden McLennan. Searching for a wide ball. Andre making the gut-busting run. Gets to it. Chance for the Rowdies, perhaps. Casemiro goes for the cross. Stevenson away by a boot. Reeve, Voicey, Yayakos. Good skill from the midfielder. Does very well, Rafael Yayakos, and now Olympic. Perhaps a chance to switch things. Da Costa attempts to, but just couldn't quite get enough wrap around it to give it to Ying. Newell in front for Camero. Camero sends it down the line, asks Charles Adu Jr. to do a lot of running. Reeve keeps it alive, back to Geekus. Now Stevenson, further wide. Here is Davies. Chance for Olympic to break once again. Goes wide, good angled run, made by Yin. Perhaps a first-time cross. He bursts forward, cuts it back, looking for Amity. He left it further on for Yayakos. Still alive at the moment. Voicey. Yayakos looking to make the overlapping run. Connor Moss has come forward as well. Yayakos gets a nice cross, but a little too much on the delivery. Amity did lay their back post, just couldn't quite get it in. Bit of a night vision there, looked like on the screen. But we're back to normal. So, bit of effects being played there. Don't call us boring in the top end. So a goal kick for CASUARINA. Dion Newell to take. Short ball for Thomas. Now Charles Adu Jr. McLennan. McLennan. Vong. Thomas. Vong. McLennan. Thomas with possession. Goes out of play for a Rowdies throw. Correa back inside. Camero. Vong. Charles Adu Jr. under some pressure. Now Connor Gallagher back and across for McLennan. Now searching for Andre. Da Costa's there with him and he gets the foot there first. Casemiro. Magical feet, Mark Casemiro. Now Dylan Vong looking for Jaluris. Stevenson trying to get first position, but referee says play on. Yayakos. Da Costa, first time ball, looked to be whipped. And Amity, chance for Mitchell Amity to go through on goal. He's gone past D.R. Newell and penalty. Yellow card to D.R. Newell, who brought down Mitchell Amity in the box. And a chance for Olympic to add a third goal. So 37.5 minutes gone. And Amity stepping up to take it as well, so chance for Mitchell Amity to complete his hat-trick in the first half. Newell is no slouch when it comes to saving a penalty. Very reliable in the sticks. Amity versus Newell. Goal scorer versus goal protector. Both very good players. Will it be a test of nerve? In comes Amity. And he gets saved, but he scores the rebound. Penalty that was saved by Dion Newell, but Mitchell Amity makes them pay. Followed in his shot beautifully. And dispatches there away. Can't quite see the replay, but it's 3-0. And Mitchell Amity scores. Here's the replay now. Saved by Dion Newell, and Amity follow it in perfectly. Be very frustrated, Dion Newell. Nevertheless, it adds a third goal for Olympic. As we are just about to approach the 40th minute mark here. It's been pretty much one-way traffic thus far. As Newell searches for Casemiro. Reeve. Put under pressure by Charles Adu Jr. Quana races across. Now Konomos searches for Voicey. Just might find him, and now Yin off and away. Chance for a back post delivery. Come up against Wild Korea. Well done from Honlu Yin. Still with Yin. Another penalty for Olympic. And this could be back-to-back penalties for Darwin Olympic. They're absolutely running Casuarina rugged at the moment. And well, this could be an opportunity to inflict further damage into the wound. Amity looks to have grabbed the ball once again, but he's going to be giving it to Ponlu Yin. So doing the team-like thing. Amity, usual penalty taker for Olympic. Ponlu Yin brought down, so earns the right to take it perhaps. Yin against Newell. To add a fourth within 40 minutes. In comes Yin and scores. Darwin Olympic have added a fourth goal. They're having fun at the moment. And Ponlu Yin already with an assist to his name. The composure, the calm, and the finish sends Newell the wrong way. And Olympic really now are on track for a very famous victory. The script suggests one-way traffic. Casuarina really need a ticket to change the course of the train. Gallagher back to Thomas. Dion Newell drives forward. The other way it goes. Yayakos. Konomos. Deflected ball forward, but Yayakos with space to drive. Back inside looking for Da Costa, away from Gallagher. Lewis Da Costa. Crossing ball, back post for Yin. Lets it fall. Looking to spin away from Yakorea. Having fun with the defender. Yin with a strike. And Newell makes the gather. Moves it forward, Dion Newell, looking for the run of Jaluris. Heads it to advantage. And goes forward looking for Reeve. Second ball is as good. Will Reeve. And Charles Adu Jr. sees refuge in the touchline. Konomos just urged to slow it down as he throws forward. Andre heads inside for Gallagher. Charles Adu Jr. Now Vong. Voicey cuts it off. Now Ponlu Yin. Amity. Voicey. Chance for the youngster to drive. Yayakos takes the touch. Yayakos scores! Olympic are absolutely tearing apart Casuarina. And it looks like to be a murder in Marara, as Casuarina are absolutely being laid to waste. Yayakos with a wonderful finish. Voicey driving through. And really giving the Olympic faithful a lot to celebrate here tonight. Voicey with wonderful technique to drive through, and well, at the moment, it's 5-0. 5-star performance in the first half for Olympic. This is absolutely clinical. And it's threatening to get a little bit dangerous for the Rowdies. Has to be said, they are down a number of players, but that's not to discredit this Olympic performance. They've been absolutely wonderful so far. And Yin still going forward. Olympic still have drive. DaCosta trying to steal it away from Andrade. Andrade wins this time. DaCosta running hard. Andrade goes down. Konomos got in the way. And now Thomas. Newell. Thomas driving forward, looking for Charles Adu Jr., takes down the touch. Looking to come away from Davies. Chance for CASUARINA here. Charles Adu Jr. drives inside, shot blocked. Still with Adu Jr. And handball against Charles Adu Jr. So free kick for Olympic. Stevenson going forward. Yin inside for Reeve. About to reach the end of the first half. Regulation time to play. Goes out of play though. CASUARINA throw. Goes down to Jaluris, who heads in front of himself. Away from Quana. Jaluris goes to ground but keeps possession. All ball, says the referee. As Quana pokes it forward. Amity. They're trying to get forward. And Thomas with possession. And stays to ground behind the plate. Is Jaluris. Looks to be in some discomfort as well. Looks to be in a lot of discomfort. Manoli Jaluris. Signal given for a substitution. Not exactly sure if he'll be able to continue here. And that signals us to the end of this first half. Darwin Olympic have a 5-0 advantage to take to it. Hat-trick from Mitchell Amity and singles from Rafael, Yayakos and Ponluyun see the Reds go into halftime 5-0 in front. We'll have a quick break and rejoin you shortly for the second half. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Moments away from getting this second half kicked off and underway. It will be Olympic to get us started. They're going left to right on your screens and currently take into the second half a 5-0 advantage. A Mitchell Amity hat-trick and goals to Ponlu Yin and Rafael Yayakos see them and with 5 in front. CASUARINA not much into it so far. I'm sure they'll bring something to the second half, and underway we go. Yayakos comes wide to Davies, and it has to be mentioned, and we send our thoughts to Manoli Jalouris, who literally on the stroke of half-time went down with looked to be a nasty injury. He's carried off the field, and we wish him all the best with the future, and that it's not as serious as what it looks like. His substitute and replacement is Jacob Lay, who's on the field. Ponlu Yin has had a wonderful start to the game. Goal and assist as well. Voicey across to Konomos. Olympic looking to pick up where they left off. Cross comes in on the left, but goes into the hands of DR Newell. Now Thomas to Vong. Now Gallagher. McLennan. Thomas drives it forward. Goes all the way through to Geekus. Plenty of time to make the collect. Kwana. Voicey turns away from Vong. Paces away as well. Isaac Voicey. Now Yayakos. Chance for Yin to get onto the end of it. Flag stays down. Ponlu Yin thought about the first time delivery. He has played it first time. Unfortunately for him, couldn't quite generate enough power to get it to Amity. He acknowledges the attempt to get it to the forward, but not quite the ball required for Amity to get his fourth. Thomas. Now Newell. Put out, trying to get forward. And now to play for a goal kick. Geekus sends it wide to Kwana. Kwana goes forward. And now Reeve looking to drive forward. Away from Thomas. William Reeve with a shot. Oh, and Newell makes a wonderful stop. And a corner for Olympic coming up as we played 3 minutes on here. Being brought to my attention that there perhaps might be an issue with the latency of the stream. I'm hearing that my comments And the action up, quite sinking up, which I have to apologise for. As Lewis DaCosta comes in with the corner. Direct on goal, Stevenson tried to get a good header to it. Lay clears his lines, Olympic very much so, starting this second half as they ended the first. Yakos, Konomos. Kwana. DaCosta trying to come away from Correa, not quite successful. Davies with a throw. Amity heads it in front. Holding it up. Gets the cross in. And keeper made the call and makes the collect. Now, Dion Newell drives it forward in distance. Charles Adu Jr. with space to drive as well. Konomos coming back, and Geekus is able to keep it alive, prevent the corner. Rolls it quickly out to Yin. Now, Voicey. Davies. DaCosta. Driving forward, Lewis DaCosta. Coming in and away from Camero. Still with Lewis DaCosta. Chance to strike. Ooh, and that hit the top of the net. Not quite into the back of the net. It's always a commentator's awareness there for Lewis DaCosta. He loves to have a long shot and often goes into the back of the net. Kwana forward. And of course, Olympic, having won their last encounter with the Rowdies on the 2nd of July. It was a 2-1 Olympic victory, courtesy of Kathapoulis and Ponlu Yin. And prior to that, they also defeated CASUARINA. So in recent history, the Rowdies have had the upper hand over the Reds, but could that perhaps be the tide turning? Olympic have been very good value, especially in recent weeks in the Men's Premier League. They've had a rough start to the season. Of course, knocked out of the Australia Cup in the first round and had some tough tests earlier on. But they've seemed to have fielded a groove and perhaps may still play a part in the 2023 final series. Vong with a header. Stevenson down in front. Now Yakos, plenty of time in front of him. Lewis DaCosta. Now Yakos. Voicey touches and looks to turn. Long attempt and followed through by Dion Newell. Goal kick, but almost. Dion Newell sends in a long delivery. Now Voicey. Davies. Lewis DaCosta. Tries to drive again. CASUARINA momentarily down to 10 men. With Correa coming off, feeling a bit of an injury. Ethan Camero dropping into left back. McLennan. Driving forward, but his pass to no avail. Here is Casemiro. Lay trying to get forward. Newell. Now Thomas. Still with Bo Thomas. Yakos. Yakos. And Quina has stayed to ground. So in this break and play, many thanks to Diamond Barbers. 4 locations across the territory: Parat, Ballamac, the Darwin, CBD and Coringa. Ward Keller, your experts in family and criminal law, as well as domestic violence, and also Steel Line and NTF, Steel Line service over and above, and NTF, your local construction supplier. Stealth Medical and Darwin Olympic Sporting Club for their contributions in season 2023. DaCosta. Davies. Lewis DaCosta. Just to switch things. Connor Moss. Now Yin. Looking to drive forward. Thomas makes an intervention. There is Newell, who has also come onto the pitch for the Rowdies. Now McLennan. Pushes forward, looking for a driving Mark Casemiro, who looks to get through on goal, and Connor Moss makes a wonderful defensive intervention, puts it out and behind for a corner. It was Connor Gallagher who came off for Newell. Going inside the box, and it is a goal to CASUARINA. So the Rowdies get one back. Looked to be contact made on the goalkeeper. Not quite sure if that was picked up. The goal, I think, was signalled. So the goal was signalled. think. No. No goal, I think. Stays at 5-0. It was a foul, I think, against the goalkeeper as Dionisiou comes on for Quana, and Mitchell Amity substituted for Billy Cathapoulos. So it stays 5-0. Geekus sends it wide. Connor Moss. Dionisiou. Geekus drives it forward. Cathapoulos touches on for Voicey. Now Yayakos. Chance to drive it wide. DaCosta will provide chase, but Dion Newell keeps it alive. McLennan. Cross for Thomas. Ryan Newell sending this wide. Looking for Andrade. Connor Moss just puts it into touch. Throw into Casuarina. Newell. Bumped off it, but play stays alive as Voicey goes to Reeve. Vong. Lay can't quite get to the second ball. Lewis DaCosta driving it out inside of space. And Cathapoulos, offside flag rises against him. McLennan drives it across field. Newell takes the touch. Now Lay looking to come forward to Casemiro, driving towards the box. Cross comes inside. Strike by Newell as well. Not quite able to be driven goal bound. Reeve. Lewis DaCosta. Davies. Cross to Stevenson. Further wide for Connor Moss. Geekus. Cut off momentarily by Charles Adu Jr. Voicey to Stevenson. Now Davies. DaCosta. Stevenson. Voicey. Dionisiou. Connor Moss. Further forward for Reeve. Away from Thomas. Will Reeve. And still alive here. Lay. Find its way through potentially for Casemiro, but Davies trying to clear his lines off of Casemiro. And not able to keep it alive. Olympic throw. Voicey traps it down. Now Dionisiou. Reeve. Moves wide here for Andrade. Now Newell. Newell. Davies comes across, intervenes. Put out in front, looking for Yayakos. McLennan comes and puts in a strong challenge. Out of play for a throw. Lewis DaCosta. Connor Moss. Yayakos. Andrade. Newell. Yin trying to dispossess Andrade. Charles Adu Jr. Lay. Still with Lay. Now Andrade. Driving forward. Jacob Andrade. Jacob Lay. Blocked off by Will Reeve and out behind. Throw in. Jacob Lay. Sorry, Vong. Still in Vong from distance, looking for a ball into the box, but the keeper, Geekers, can gather. Now Stevenson. DaCosta. Tane Stevenson. Will Reeve. Over and across. Konomos. Over the top looking for Yarkos. Flag rises to deny the young midfielder. Another substitution looked to be primed and ready to go for Olympic. Camero trying to thread it through. Stevenson out. Vong. Andrade. Camero. Vong combining with Adu Jr. Camero headed away by the Inasiu. Yarkos competes with Camero. Now Newell. Ethan Camero still. Fancy a cross, blocked off there, and Kikas makes the gather. Now Lewis DaCosta. Davies. Lewis DaCosta. Kathapoulos. Kathapoulos' second attempt needs to be good. Stevenson makes a good sliding challenge. Voicey. Stevenson. Now Lewis DaCosta. Can drive away from Joel Correa. Yarkos trying to get to the end of it. And Correa makes a good sliding challenge. Play for a corner. So Rafael Yarkos will come from the field. He's going to be replaced there by Joel Formoso. So corner kick looking to come inside. DaCosta. Back post here, in with time. Shot blocked and comes out here. The Rowdies will look to come out of the box. Push their men further up as the throw's been given. Taken quickly, Konomos. Looping ball into the box. Newell makes the rise and makes a relatively comfortable save. Rolled short here to McLennan. McLennan goes to Casemiro. Now back to Ryan Newell. Over the top, Newell looking to play it through for Andrade. Konomos is able to get it through to the goalkeeper. Stays to ground, Konomos. And doesn't look too good. Too comfortable, Konomos. Gripping the back of the leg, it looks like. Potentially a cramp. Back to his feet. Substitution for CASUARINA to come. So Charles Adu Jr. to come from the pitch. He's going to be replaced by number 5, Scott James. So Scott James on in place of Charles Adu Jr. It just wasn't happening for him this evening as Lewis DaCosta comes in the way. So Olympic can go forward here. Lewis DaCosta, Reeve, Raul Correa away. Well, Reeve steals it back. Now Davies can drive forward. Time for Davies. And blocked off by Camero. Still with Ethan Camero. And instead just puts it out to touch. Throw into Olympic. Davies with a throw. Reeve, flick on header. McLennan boots it wide. James looking to keep it alive, but then he keeps it down for the Olympic throw. Davies for DaCosta. Joao Correa forward down the line, finds James. Dynasty there. Now, Neil. Kathapoulos jostling for possession. Vong emerges away with it. Still with Dylan Vong. Wide to James. Newell. And out of play for a Casuarina throw. Lay comes away with the ball there. Jacob Lay looking to get it wide. Boise. Kathapoulos turns and goes wide. Lewis DaCosta. Davies. Reeve. And out of play for an Olympic throw. Goes out of play for an Olympic throw again. So on the live ladder at the moment, of course, Olympic are destined to equalise Casuarina with 22 points on the Premier League table. Casuarina do have a superior goal difference. If Olympic were to score 2 more goals to Casuarina's none, and they then would be level on the table in terms of goals for and against. There's McLennan. Coming forward, possession, Kathapoulos. And challenge played on the Casuarina defender was late. So ball goes wide, looking for Andrade. It was his head that was the last one onto it. Yin stays to ground on the far side. Perhaps is okay to continue. So attention required for Honglu Yin. So Olympic will resume play via the throw. Comes inside. Looking for an option off of Andrade and out and behind. Economos looking to get it to Kathapoulos. Ball forward, looking for Da Costa. And Tianul able to get to it. Now Camero. James. Play for an Olympic throw. Newell over the top ball, Mark Casemiro through on goal. Cross comes in, looking for James at the back post. Oh, and it's a header. Wonderful header from Scott James, who puts it in to the back of the net. Nice cross from Mark Casemiro. And that's the goal they needed. Nice ball put in from Mark Casemiro. And Scott James, towering over Davies, gets in a very good header. The two fives do battle, and it's the taller one who wins. And so Joseph Mutalemba coming onto the pitch for Olympic, replacing Pomlu Yin, who went off on the far side. So 5-1. And so Geekus. Here is Davies, Da Costa. Davies switches things. Here is Economos. Now Joseph Mutalemba. Touches with Kathapoulos, now Voici. Further wide and across for Da Costa. Da Costa fancying one from distance, and Neil's able to make the gather. Renowned for long efforts, Lewis Da Costa, but Dion Newell's probably thinking, you're not going to catch me out from that far out. Thomas, back to his goalkeeper. Less than 15 minutes remain on the North Crest scoreboard. This ball's sent long, looking for Joao Correa. Correa unable to keep it in, goes out of play for throw in. So Davies, a throw for Olympic. Joao Correa, forward for James. Touches it into an advantageous area. Dionysiou able to see that behind. CASUARINA throw. Joao Correa, dispossessed. A heavy challenge there on Joao Correa. Free kick to CASUARINA. Camero with a delivery, swinging outwards. Economos gets the header. Mutalemba told to push forward. Goes that way of the youngster. Going to come past Andrade. Talemba back to Ryan Newell of Casuarina. Now Vong. Boise dispossesses. Now Kathapoulos. DaCosta. Fancies one from distance. Oh, and Dion Newell makes a wonderful stop. Almost another wonderful DaCosta goal. Instead, it just goes out and behind for a corner kick. There's his own highlight reel, Luis DaCosta. Capable of the absolute amazing. Goes DaCosta, short one. Played out and behind. Throw in, right on the edge. Precipice for a corner, but just goes out for a throw in. And so as we approach the final 10 minutes or so, no clean sheet for Olympic, but if you had told them prior to kickoff that you'd win this game 5-1, I'm sure that's a fate they would have signed where the dotted line read. So not a bad result, is what I'm trying to convey. As Talemba puts the ball back there for Dionysiou, but gives possession away. Here is Andrade. Vong. And now Lay. Formosa. This goes wide. Luis DaCosta takes it down. Tries to, and does eventually play it back to Davies. Now Formosa with possession. Back to Davies. Now Stevenson. Dionysiou. Konomos. Down for Mutalemba. Tackled in there. Dionysiou trying to win it away from Janes. Newell. Lay. Boise. DaCosta. First time ball forward, inviting his teammates to chase. Andrade gets it back. Kathapoulos. Chance to drive, and his shot misses narrowly to the right-hand side. Almost a Kathapoulos goal. Substitution for Casuarina. It's going to be Ethan Camero coming from the field and replaced by Lucas Kamara. He's gained back Camero, perhaps still not 100%. Dion Newell drives it wide. Mark Casemiro. Still with Mark Casemiro. Driving forward, Mark Casemiro. Ryan Newell. Blocked off there. Formosa. Trying to get it through the legs there. Just not successful. Fortunately for him, he won the foul. Boise. To get it forward to Kathapoulos, but not quite successful. Kamara looking to drive forward for Casemiro. Pace to drive as well. And goes to ground. Corner kick the signal. So another opportunity for Casuarina to perhaps head home a second. Janes has already done so once. They'll be certainly eyeing him off to try and add another. Newell's delivery goes that direction. Janes get to get ahead to it. Formoso looking to escape out of defense and does so. Kathapoulos. Andrade came away with possession. Looking to advance past Reeve. Blistering pace, Jacob Andrade, and Will Reeve made a wonderful challenge just to put it behind for a corner. In comes the ball. Rowdy's looking to get onto it. McLennan gets a header there. Thomas. Mutalemba holding him up. And his ball across is not quite successful. Out of play for a goal kick. So Geekus rolling it forward, but dangerously. Newell, his pass is off. Famoso. Now Davies to Costa. Back to Davies, over the top ball. Kamara with the header. Correa. Davies gets there first. To Costa, and off of the Olympic player. Rowdy's ball. Correa looks inside. And free kick against Stevenson. Free kick for CASUARINA. McLennan driving it towards the box. Oh, and Geekus is able to make the save. Janes looked to get a touch onto it. Thankfully for Olympics defence, it wasn't goal bound. Davies going to get past Joel Correa. Advancing down the line, Lewis to Costa. And trying to win it back, but Joel Correa, and he can get as far as Reeve. Switch ball is on. Economos is there. Takes a touch. Looking to advance. Mutalemba. Youngster gets onto it. Cuts inside, past a couple rowdies as Andre does well defensively. Newell, tackled by Economos. Wins possession back. And driven forward. Giannisou shown the other way as Janes looking to advance. Scott Janes and Stevenson tussle. Stevenson gets in a good foot there, out of play for a corner. Corner for the Rowdies in a dangerous area. Thomas with a header. A little astray and out of play for a goal kick as we enter the final 2.5 minutes of regulation time. Olympics should be able to see through what has been a comprehensive victory. If CASUARINA can take any solace in the result, is that they've held Olympic scoreless in the second half, and they've scored one in the second half themselves. So Olympic threw a lot of punches in the first. 5 of them hit critically. And in the second round, it was CASUARINA who hit 1 on Olympic. It's been a very comprehensive result nonetheless. Olympic showed that they can absolutely attack one of the premier sides in this competition. Gian Newell, McLennan. Now Kamara going to get through here, and McLennan hoofs it up into the night sky. Play for an Olympic throw. To Costa can't quite take it down. McLennan, here is Davies. Put it in front of himself. Kathapoulos looking to lace it in, and D'Arnil makes a comfortable save. Boots it near side to Casemiro. Now Davies, Kathapoulos. Going to come away from McLennan. Kamara. Newell. Vong. Kamara. Lay. Kamara. To McLennan. Now Thomas. Now Vong. Sent wide here for Correa. Goes out of play for an Olympic throw. So only 30 seconds or so of regulation time. Thrown in for Formoso. Arid touch there, given away to Casemiro, who goes for the long shot. Stevenson wide to Konomos. Newell pushed to ground. Now Andre. Back to Thomas. Looks to go forward. Davies with the header. Now Vong. Davies. Lewis to Costa. Chance to drive again. Voicey trying to get away from McLennan, and will be an Olympic throw. So, moments away from closing out a comprehensive result for Olympic. Will create 4-point gap between them and 5th place Azzurri. CASUARINA will be a frustrating result for them. Certainly going into it, latter favourites. But Olympic have had the upper hand on the Rowdies in season 23 as Voicey trying to play it back through for Da Costa. And there is a late substitution for CASUARINA. And will be Mark Casemiro to come from the field. And Ioannis Hadzila will be coming on in his place. So last few moments to be played out by Hadzila. Now João Correa trying to come away from Davies. James. And Stevenson blocks it out behind. Correa inside, looking for Newell, but Stevenson gets the header. Dionysiou moves it forward. Thomas wins that one down. Now Lay. Newell. James, chance to drive through. Shot! Oh, what a save. Giga spits back to his feet and makes the comfortable second one. Hadzila unable to drive it back towards Gikas' goal with any oomph to it. Gikas makes a wonderful save to deny James as he boots it wide. Mutalemba chests it down in front of Andre, does well. Joseph Mutalemba. Now Lewis Da Costa. Away from Newell. Formoso. Voicey. Da Costa. Back out wide to Voicey. Cross comes in. Andre heads away. Now Kamara. Formoso does well with a tackle. And that brings an emphatic result to an end. Olympic 5-1 winners. Too good on the night for the Rowdies, and Mitchell Amati hat-trick helped them to get onto that way. Singles by Yayakos and Yin. And a consolation for Scott James in the second half. Not enough for the Rowdies. Olympic too strong. The red and white come home strongly and ending round 17 with a 5-1 victory. My name has been George Screwfezerson. It's been a pleasure to have you this evening. We'll leave you there. Have a safe rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next week.